Hello, everyone. I believe we are live now on Facebook. I'm Cathleena Hailley, and I'm here again today creating space actually for the present moment without judgment. So creating a neutrality. For those of you who don't know me, I am what's called a frequency alchemist. My natural frequency has the ability to recognize all other frequencies at what's called their perfect pitch. So just stepping into my energy or me just showing up starts to bring your natural soul signature or your frequency into a place of neutrality. So I started to, I've been doing this now for a couple of days, and the first day I shared with everyone what I felt that this was. And so the example that was brought to me was, imagine pulling your car into a car wash. And so if you pulled your car in the car wash, you would passively be sitting there while your car is being washed by the machine. And that's what's happening for you here, is that if you sit in the space in a passive way, there are certain frequencies that are being brought into a 0 point or sort of neutralized. Why this is important is because this we'll call the false matrix, or this 3D reality that's been playing out, has through language really and through belief systems and collective belief systems has created matrices within our physical brain that are actual frequencies. And a lot of them are fear, shame, blame, anger, depression, things like that. And so there's an actual like geometric matrix that sits in the physical brain with these particular frequencies. And they're not just sitting in the physical brain, they actually have pathways that go to the body and into the organ systems and into like all of the systems in the body. So this has been creating patterns and many different patterns of particularly illness within the physical body and lots of different conditions, and it ends up as a collective condition, and it stays as a collective condition because these matrices that are in the physical brain end up being a collective matrix. So what's being created here over this, it's like 24 days, I've been guided to come on live every day at 2 o'clock till right after the election. It feels like this is the most important time to do this. But it's happening because this matrix has been a very collective matrix, and there are a lot of energies that want to keep that very much in play. And so having an opportunity to, even if you just passively sit here, it's an opportunity for those frequencies to become at a neutral point, so that more of you and your soul signature can interact in your brain, in your body, in your life, than these belief systems and these lower, denser frequencies. So this is what's happening here. It's happening on a more passive for you, just simply being here. I'm not just arbitrarily talking to you. The energy and frequency with which I'm bringing this is also in an expansiveness and a neutrality and a light. I've also been inviting individuals to come and have live sessions, because it's just another way to neutralize a lot of these frequencies and a lot of the stories that are going on. So I really appreciate when people come forward and it helps not just them, but the collective. So I'd like to bring on the guest that I had today. Her name is Maria. So Maria, if you'd like to bring your camera on and thank you, and unmute as well. Hi there.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hello.
So let's bring you on the gallery. There you go. Hi there. So Maria, if you would like to share with everyone, what brought you here and what it is that we will be working with today, and what you would like and what you're feeling.
Well, I found myself to be quite judgeful, to have judgments about others all the time,
Mm-hmm.
even if my brain, I know I don't need to judge anything, but it just comes immediately
Mm-hmm.
when I see someone, they say something or in a special way, I judge them and I judge myself, and I am very afraid that people will also judge me for basically anything.
Yeah.
What I
Yeah.
look, what I say, what I do, anything. So I
Sure.
want to let go of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I imagine that with having the judgment both outward and judging yourself, it can be quite debilitating, right? It can cause you to pull away, right? And not
Yeah.
step into maybe situations or things that you might like. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's definitely very common. And so, if we were to go a little bit deeper and just ask about the judgment that happens, what's the feeling that you have, other than obviously judgment? But what is the feeling inside yourself when this comes up? Are you aware of the emotion that might be coming up? Is there any kind of
When people are judging me.
when people are judging you? Yes. Or when you're feeling um, that sensation of either somebody's watching me, that kind of stuff. What is the feeling that's happening for you? Are you aware of that? Like, is there embarrassment? Is there some type of feeling or emotion that's coming forward? Something about yourself that's a story that you have, that perhaps there's obviously it's fear. We can feel fear involved, right? But
That they would think that something is wrong with me.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So then you're carrying some kind of energy that says that I'm not equal to them, right? There's some kind of energy in that kind of
Yeah,
way.
not good enough in any way.
Yeah, not good enough in any way. Right. Okay. And again, this is very prominent. And so what I want to do, I want to go a little bit deeper in your energy. And I just want to set the stage here a little bit, because what I'm feeling with you is that, you do have a great presence, and I can feel your energy is also very vulnerable and very present. So I think you have done some work, and there is an awakening that's happening with you, and you've been coming forward, as we talked a little bit before we went live. And so what I want to share is that when we actually do wake up, okay, in this ascension process, there is a time in our actual chronological life where we are 100% our multi-dimensional self. But at that time, we're very, very young, because, before like the age of, or right about the age of 2, before we learn language, before we understand it, we are fully present, fully in the now moment without judgment. We're that individual. But then once we start to understand language, what happens is we start to become something or someone we're told who we're supposed to be. And then we try to be that person. Well, often when you end up in where you're feeling, which is in this place of feeling like being judged or judging others, is a place where you are recognizing your multidimensional self, who you are, but you've got kind of some layering of these beliefs and what you've been told kind of around you. And so it feels scary. And it feels scary because in essence, you're very young, because we are like this 2-year-old to suddenly awaken the world, right? Because that's the time before we became anyone. So I'm sharing that because that's important to understand, because there's a vulnerability and innocence about that, you know, and that's why it feels kind of uncomfortable inside of you. So what we want to create is we want to create this ability for you to just simply hold space for that you to show up and have her experience, whatever it is. That's the idea. That's what we're going to do, right? That's what we're doing here, right? Because that's what we don't do, right? We monitor that experience because of the stories. That's what I'm saying. See, once we become the adult, then when that little us starts to come forward, we don't let her do that, because we're like, no, can't do that. You know, somebody might think this, might think that. But what we're going to do here is just keep taking off those belief systems, bringing those into neutral, and letting more and more of you show up. Okay, so we're going to bring you into that neutral moment so that you can step forward from here and just breathing and supporting yourself in your now experience as brand new. Okay.
It sounds great.
Great, right? Yeah, great. Okay, great. So let's close your eyes, and I'm going to close my eyes for the audience, so they'll know that. And yeah, you can take your glasses off. I'm just going to start taking some nice deep breaths. So I want you to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just letting go and relaxing. And for anybody who's participating, do the same. I'm sure that anyone who is listening to this can relate, because we're all waking up in one way or the other. And it's all about having a pure experience. So this is what we're stepping into. So again, take a nice deep breath. And really, I can start to feel, I'm just going to spin your light body is what's happening. We're just going to spin the light body. We're going to spin it out wider. And what we're doing, we're spinning this within your core of your body. So it's as though it's very tight to the physical body. So some internal, like in the central channel through the spine and all that. Just keep breathing. I'm going to spin both of those and release off the edges of your body, off the skin. This almost like a box that you've been in. And this is just the belief systems that are around you that you haven't known what to do with, because there's a story there. So just keep breathing. And just imagine, as we're spinning, just imagine your central channel is spinning in a counterclockwise at the moment. I'm going to spin it clockwise. And just as we're doing that, just imagine little particles leaving your edges of your body with your breath. So every time you breathe out, just allow that. It's beautiful. Keep allowing that. I'm just going to imagine that we're stretching and we're feeling lighter, and we can just move. We have a greater space to move in now. That's beautiful. Just keep breathing. It's great. And keep breathing. And we're going to actually also, which I found in others, is it's like you're leaning against something on your back, like there hasn't been support, and it's also like a protection. So it's almost like a wall. So I'm gonna pull you off of that as you keep breathing. It's almost like stuck to this, almost like a wall, and that's just these beliefs that it's not safe to be me. I have to watch my back. I have to look out and all that. So we're just going to begin to create space in between those belief systems and your physical back. And we're going to bring in between, as we're kind of pulling you away from that, I'm going to bring in a very high frequency diamond white light. This is like pure source. I'm going to begin to fill this space as we're making it wider and wider, almost like pulling you away from a wall. So we have a couple inches, and now we're getting, more like a foot away. So keep breathing. We're just bringing in this diamond white light in there. We're going to let that integrate into the whole back to allow for the back to finally let go and rest. And take a deep breath. And just keep allowing that. It might feel a little scary, a little nervous. It's okay. We're going to bring that diamond white light all the way around you, like it's like a hug, and then like it's going to surround you in a perfect circle of light, and begin to integrate into the cellular body more fully as we open up your crown, completely plugging you into the dark womb of source and your root, opening, completely plugging you into Gaia, into the earth, taking a deep breath, and just letting you feel very anchored and very supported. So now we're going to expand your light body within this like sphere of crystalline diamond white light, just to allow for more room for you to show up. Just keep breathing, big breath. I'm just going to keep allowing that. I'm going to release out actually of kind of the liver area of the body. This is a lineage. It's like it's belief system. A lot of father's energy of who you're supposed to be. Just imagine that you're just going to release the father out of like the liver. Just keep breathing. Just keep imagining. We're just letting out those slight dialogue of how you're supposed to be, who you're supposed to be. That's great. Just keep letting that release out. I'm going to release that on all timelines and conscious, subconscious, and cellular level. Just take a big breath. It's also connected to the male and how the male says how a woman's supposed to be. So we're just going to release that belief system. It's actually like the whole digestion, and a lot of the liver, and also into the solar plexus a little bit there. And this is where we identify ourselves. So I'm going to clear the solar plexus, the portal. Just let that clear out. That's great. And that's just a lot of that male saying how a woman's supposed to be, just taking out. That's beautiful. There we go. Big breath. Perfect. That's great. That's really great. I'm just going to clear that. That's great. I'm going to bring that up the central channel through the solar plexus into the brain. And just begin to clear out any of those part of the matrix in the physical brain that's dialoguing how you're supposed to be from the male's perspective of how a woman's supposed to be. I'm just going to let all that dissipate right out. Take a deep breath. And that's also a very collective belief and societal belief. Okay. Perfect. Release that right out of the head. Perfect. Great. And I'm just going to rest you down into your heart as we're going to spin that high frequency diamond white light out the heart and just releasing out any of those nervousness or judgment of being very, very present, of not knowing, of allowing just that beautiful childlike exploration and innocence from coming through. We're just spinning that right out and it's going to settle you right down into your body, into this divine 0 point present moment. Just expand that out. 360 degrees, I'm going to take you all the way out to the organic grid and plug you into 100% into the organic grid in the new Earth timeline. With now frequencies of present moment awareness without judgment, excitement and exploration and inquisitiveness as to what this all feels like. Great. So when you're ready, you can take your time and come back and open your eyes and tell me how you're feeling.
I'm feeling good.
Were you able to experience the energies that were moving through?
I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
I tried to imagine what you said.
Uh-huh. And do you feel a little bit more relaxed? Do you feel lighter?
Yeah.
That's okay.
I do.
I encourage you to actually listen to this again. There was such tremendous energy. You already have lightness. I think one of the reasons that you might not feel it is because you're already very present. It's just that what I feel with you is you're very empathic and you were feeling a lot of those energies that are outside of you. So what you're feeling is your normal. And so I'm just going to encourage you just to keep breathing and stepping in and being in that very inquisitive excitement, exploration of life. So every time you're stepping forward and you're starting to feel any of that nervousness or judgment, I want you to just take a breath and just imagine dropping that off and you just be curious. Go into a curiosity. I think you're going to expand your light way more. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you have a beautiful light. So thank you. And thank you for participating.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Take care. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you for participating today. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back again tomorrow. As far as I know, I may actually be traveling, so I will let you guys know. But thank you. Take care.